I may not have wings, but my eyebrows do. Who needs wing liner when you've got wing eyebrows? Today's book look is for Bone Crier's Moon, which is the first book to the Bone Criers duology by Kathryn Purdie. If you like high-stakes fantasies, enemies to lovers romance stories, and gruesomely vivid magic systems, then I highly recommend picking this book up, especially since the second book to the duology, Bone Crier's Dawn, comes out later on this month on March 30th. So if you'd like to see how I put this book look for Bone Crier's Moon all together, then please keep on watching. Starting with a clean bare face, I'm first prepping to block my brows by wiping away any excess oils with some toner. I'm then slathering several layers of washable glue stick on top of them and helping that glue dry with my airbrush tool. When my brows are dry and flat, I'm setting them with a hefty amount of translucent setting powder and using some white cream body paint and my fingers to cover up the dark pigment of my brows before hitting them again with another layer of setting powder. After that, I'm going to prime my eyes and face with my favorite primers. Slight spoiler alert! My goal for this book look is to do a mix of limestone statues and owl-like imagery from the story, as well as incorporating the color palette and art from the book cover. And to do that, I'm first applying a gray body paint that matches the book cover colors, and I'm packing a thick, opaque layer of that gray paint all over my face, neck, and body. After, I'm setting everything with some more translucent setting powder. With the same white cream body paint I used on my brows, I'm using a little bit to conceal under my eyes and blending the color down onto my cheeks, and I'm also working the color up onto my eyelids. I'm then going to go over everything with a mix of a little bit of white and black airbrush paint, color matching as best as I can, and filling in any gray patches. After that, I'm using the white and black airbrush paint separately to highlight and contour my face and body. If you look closely at the book cover of Bone Crier's Moon, you'll see that there's almost bluish tones blended in with the gray, and I really wanted to incorporate that beautiful blend of colors as well into my statue by using dark blue eyeshadows on all of the contour points on my neck, face, and body. With a little bit of dark matte gray eyeshadow, I'm roughly contouring under my brows and swooping the color up into my temples before darkening it all up with some black cream body paint. I'm also sharpening up the swoop-like cut crease with some white cream body paint and blending that color in all over the center of my eyelids. To get more of a stony, statue-like texture, I'm using one of my favorite brushes in my makeup kit, my splatter brush, and I'm splattering a mix of black body paint on my contour points, white body paint all over my highlight points, and I'm also splattering a little bit of blue body paint to keep those blue tones from the book cover present in the look. Next, I'm using a white eyeliner pencil to trace out cracks on my statue, focusing them a little bit more on the bottom of my face and my body since the top part of my face will be covered by leaves and foliage later. Once those cracks are all traced out, I'm going over them with a little bit of black body paint, and then I'm highlighting beside the cracks with white body paint to give the cracks more of a 3D effect. Time to put on our Bone Crier's Moon statue wig! If you'd like to see how I styled this wig and painted my Bone Grace horn attachments, I'll have a video on how I did both on my YouTube channel coming soon, so please check it out! Before I put on the wig, I'm first going to blend in my hairline with some gray airbrush paint, and I'm slapping on not one, but 2 wig caps to keep my hair nice and flat. I'm also going to spray my hairline with some heavy-duty hairspray to ensure that the caps stay in place. Once the wig is on, I'm grabbing my airbrush tool again, and I'm going to custom paint the wig with gray and blue airbrush paint so it matches the color of my face and body, and so I look a little bit more like a statue. Time to move on to my leafy owl mask, starting with my leaf beak. If you look at the cover of Bone Crier's Moon, you'll see a hidden face inside of the leaves of the cover, and for this look I wanted to incorporate that as well as the story element of owls into the shape of the foliage mask. To do that, I'm roughly coating my forehead with a little bit of green body paint, and I'm attaching these cloth craft leaves that I custom cut and colored for this book look. For my owl wing leaves, I'm taking this big leaf from a previous book look prop, and I'm folding it in half and cutting it to get 2 twin feather shapes similar to a great horned owl's feathers, and I'm attaching these on both sides of my leaf mask. And with whatever leftover craft leaves I have, I'm just using them to cover up my hairline. Once those leaves are attached, I'm using a little bit of green and black body paint to better color match my leaves to the dark green leaves from the cover. I also cut up 2 of my craft leaves into smaller feather shapes, and I'm attaching them around the eye portions of my mask to make it look a little bit more owl-like. With the same green body paint, I'm marking out my bottom mask leaf feathers before darkening and setting them with some more dark green eyeshadow. I'm also adding a couple smaller craft leaves to the mask and pinning clusters of those leaves to my hair so it looks like everything is growing down and around my face and hair. I'm also taking an ivy flower crown from a previous book look and bending it out of shape and pinning it to the wig so it sits more like a halo, and I'm draping the vines from the crown down my sides and weaving them through the wig hair. Going back to my leaf owl mask, I'm using a little bit of black and white body paint to give each of the leaves some definition so all the different shapes don't get lost among all the foliage. I'm also going to top off highlight points of the leaves with a little bit of green liquid glitter eyeshadow just to add some extra fun shine. Since I'm trying to emulate a statue that's been chilling outside on a full Bone Crier's moon, I thought it would be fitting to add some moss into the mix. So I'm dipping into some green body paint with my splatter brush and I'm starting to create patches of moss growing on my face and body. I'm also using dark green eyeshadow and yellow cream body paint on a small stipple brush to add a little bit more texture. Moving back up to my face, I'm topping my eyelids with some iridescent liquid glitter eyeshadow, and I'm also using some green liquid shimmer shadow as a green eyeliner on top of that. Next step is to apply some long feathery falsies, which I custom painted green for this book look, and I'm also going to run some of that green shimmer liquid shadow over them like a mascara. I'm doing the same with these smaller falsies that I'm attaching to my bottom lashes, and I'm using my green body paint as a mascara to blend my natural lashes in with my bottom falsies. And just for fun, I'm also attaching some green Swarovski crystals under my eyes and along my moss patches, almost like they're small, shimmery, sparkly moss spores growing on my statue self. I also decided to add some green peacock feathers for more of a feathery, textured look to the owl mask, and to give the mask some extra height and pizzazz. Next, I'm using a gray lip liner to overdraw my lip shape, and I'm filling it in with some gray liquid lipstick and cleaning up the edges with some white cream paint. I'm also going to top off the center of my lips, highlight my cupid's bow, and the inner corners of my eyes with the same white iridescent liquid glitter eyeshadow that I used earlier. Once that's done, it's time to put on some Bone Crier's Moon statue contacts. Ta-da! These contacts are mesh whiteout contacts and are a little challenging to see in, but I really wanted to wear these ones to reference the moon and its role in the story, and so the overall book look looks more like a statue. I really should have done these steps before the contacts, but the last steps now are to paint my arms and hands so I look even more like a statue, and accessorize my Bone Crier statue with some bone graces. For this book look, I custom painted a crow skull necklace, which you can also see me do in my behind the scenes prop making video over on my YouTube channel. Another slight spoiler alert! I especially wanted to wear this crow skull bone grace necklace to reference a special character in the story. If you've read the book, you'll know who I'm talking about, and if you do, put a bone emoji in the comments. But after that, and once we've added some more leaves and vines, we're done! Yay! Here is our finished look for Bone Crier's Moon, the first book to the Bone Grace duology by Kathryn Purdie! I wanted to give a colossal thank you to Kathryn Purdie for this amazingly magical story. I'm so excited to read what happens next in Book 2, Bone Crier's Dawn, which again comes out on March 30th of this year! I also wanted to give an even bigger thank you to HarperCollins Publishers for commissioning me for this book look, and I'm ever so grateful for all the love and support for my book looks. This was such a fun look to put together and even more fun to read. As always, thank you everyone for joining me. Let me know what book looks you'd like to see me do next, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!